and I will be representing myself.
Okay. I'm required by law before I accept that waiver to do a couple things. One, advise you of the maximum penalties that you could face for the charges that you're in my court for. Resisting, obstructing conservation officers is a high court misdemeanor punishable by up to 2 years in prison and or $1,000 fine. There's a habitual offender second notice that's been filed by the prosecutor, which would make that a felony punishable by up to 3 years and or $1,000 fine. And marine safety operating while intoxicated is a misdemeanor punishable by up to 93 days and or $100 to $500 fine. Do you understand the maximum penalty for the charges against you?
Well, I don't even really understand why I'm here. I don't understand the nature and cause of the action against me. So
what is it that you don't understand? Do you not understand how long 3 years is, or how much the fine is that I've articulated? Can you tell me what it is you don't understand?
The nature and cause of the action against me because you don't establish jurisdiction. You have to establish on the record first that you can have jurisdiction. That's been questioned. It was questioned in preliminary hearing. It was never addressed.
I'll address that today.
Well, it has to be addressed before anything can move forward, obviously.
Okay, so you want me to explain to you why I have jurisdiction?
Yes.
Okay, let's do that.
Jurisdiction it's under.
Sure. Okay. This court has subject matter jurisdiction over crimes punishable by more than a year as the court of general jurisdiction under the Michigan Constitution of 1963. The people voted to ratify that Constitution. That is the.
You notice the doofus isn't even listening. He's flipping through his script to find out what to say next.
Underlying law of our sovereign state of Michigan.
Okay, so is that a jurisdiction under criminal? Or is it military?
Yeah, it's a criminal charge against you, and I have jurisdiction over that.
Okay, so the Constitution of the United States only grants you 2 criminal jurisdictions. One's common law, and one is military tribunal venue under Article 1, Section Clause 17 of the Constitution. Which of these 2 criminal jurisdictions is that?
You're not in federal court. It's not a federal crime you've been charged with.
Boom! There you go. That's the bottom line. You're not in federal court, and you haven't been charged with a federal crime, so those federal things you're quoting have no bearing whatsoever on your case. Boom.
You've been charged with violating the law of the state of Michigan.
So, common law.
You're in a state court.
Yeah, you got that, Yusuf? You're in state court. God, this guy thinks he's smart.
You're charged with violating a law of the state of Michigan.
And is that a statutory jurisdiction? What is it?
Yeah, it's a statute. And this court is duly authorized under Article 6 of the Michigan Constitution.
And the 10th Amendment of the United States Constitution.
So that's my jurisdiction. Okay. So now I need to make sure that you're establishing your right to represent yourself. So
I have another question because the statutory jurisdiction doesn't exist under the Constitution. So in order for me to defend myself, could you please tell me where the published rules of conduct are for criminal statutory jurisdiction, or where I can find the nature and cause of this jurisdiction, or how this information exists?
No, I don't even understand what you're asking.
So you're saying this is a statutory jurisdiction under what? The statutes of Michigan, correct?
Mr. McLeod, I've told you what my jurisdiction is.
Okay, so when enforcement of mere statutes, judges of all courts do not act judicially and are thus are not protected and qualified by limited immunity. That's Owen versus the city. I just want to state a few things for the record since you're claiming this is a jurisdiction under statutory law.
Hang on. Mr. McLeod, can we back it? Look at me for a second. Can we talk here?
I challenged subject matter jurisdiction, and nothing can go forward until that's addressed. You're saying
I did address it, and I denied your objection. I have subject matter jurisdiction.
Doesn't exist under the Constitution.
Your objection is noted.
So I'd like to state for the record that
Mr. McLeod, stop.
The court can be
stop, Mr. McLeod. If you don't understand it, I'm going to revoke your right to represent yourself and have an attorney represent you because.
Boom! Now here's where they get their ignorance thrown back in their face.
I can't establish that you know what you're doing.
I've challenged this court's jurisdiction. You haven't established it yet. You said you have a statutory jurisdiction which doesn't exist under the Constitution. I'm trying to figure out where I stand with this. So I can't answer any of your questions until you answer some of mine.
That's not how it works. Are you refusing to answer my question?
No, I'm
then answer it. If you want to dig in your heels and just make this real complicated or real difficult, we could do that, and I can hold you in contempt, and you'll go back to a jail cell for a while.
Your
and
Honor,
then we'll deal with
I
it.
don't wish to be held in contempt, I'm just wishing to exercise my Sixth Amendment right.
That's fine.
And
So before I can let you under,
I can
before I
cite
can,
laws, I can cite laws that will show you that the exercise of a right can be converted into a crime. I'm trying to understand the nature and cause of the action against me. You're not clarifying it enough to where I can comprehend it, as you say.
He doesn't have to. Comprehension is up to you, dude. It's not up to the judge to walk you through everything. He has met his responsibilities as a judge to inform you of the nature and cause of the charges. Just because you're too stupid to grasp it is not his problem.
do you comprehend the maximum penalty that you would face?
I'm not answering any of those questions until you establish that this is a court of the Constitution, has jurisdiction under these jurisdictions.
I established it. I told you. You might think I'm wrong, and you can appeal
There's
it
no
to the
such
Michigan
thing as
Court
a
of Appeals.
statutory jurisdiction.
Let me make this simple for you.
Sure.
I'm going to ask you this question one more time. One more time.
Okay.
Two things are going to happen. You are either going to answer my question, or I'm going to hold you summarily in contempt, and the court officer will bring you to a jail cell, and we'll talk about it tomorrow. You understand that?
So,
Mr. McLeod,
contempt for what?
Mr. McLeod, two things are going to happen. You're going to answer my question, or you're going to jail for summary contempt for not complying with the court's request. Do you, Mr. McLeod, understand that the maximum penalty for the charge against you is 3 years in prison and or $1,000 fine?
I don't understand what the charges are.
Mr. McLeod is in
accept the
contempt of
charges.
court, taken into custody.
Really? That's it.
Boom. There.